spider mites. And 5 days later, they got another generation. 5 days later, there's 2 generations. So they can go from 0 to a bunch in a hurry. Probably a good protocol if you've got a spider mite infestation is to maybe treat it 3 times in 10 days. Day 1 you spray, 5 days spray again, 5 days spray again. So a period of 10 days you spray 3 times. And that because we're not perfect. We don't hit everything good, and that gives us this chance of getting good coverage and getting the population under control. But you have to go back and re-scout. But for white flies, things like that, you can see them. Yeah. But the mites, boy, you can see them, but you've got to magnify them to see them, because they're very tiny. Very tiny. Now, the thing about oil is some plants are sensitive to it. Some plants are. Walnuts, maples, Japanese red maples, especially hickories, redbud tree, smoke tree, juniper, cedar spruce. You take a Colorado blue spruce, you spray it with horticultural oil, you don't have a Colorado blue spruce in it. You just got Colorado spruce, it's not blue. The new growth that eventually comes back out will be blue, but the old growth is just green. I don't know what it does, but it takes the blue color out of it. It sure does. Also, oils will have a temperature caution on them. Generally, it's going to say not above 90 degrees and not below 40 degrees, because you'll get some plant damage just based on temperature. Also, humidity is important. You'd rather have humidity below 65%. The idea being that you hit the critter and the oil evaporates quickly. So that minimizes plant damage potential. Yes, ma'am?
How does it affect maples?
How does it affect maples? It causes foliar burn, tissue damage on the foliage themselves.
Okay.
Now, does that mean it's going to kill it? Well, probably not. But if you got a specimen plant, you don't want to look frostbite. You treat it for some insect That's what's going to neem oil. You see products that have neem oil as active ingredient in them. Now, that's a plant-based oil. It's from the Asian neem tree. And the insect-killing properties apparently is not because it smothers the critter, but it's from this active ingredient, and I don't know if I say it right or not, azadirachtin. Okay? But does anybody else know another way to say it? So we're going to assume my way's correct. Okay? Azadirachtin. It doesn't instantly kill it, but it doesn't kill them. Okay? Like oil, you kill them, and pretty soon they're going to suffocate. Those that plug the cuticles and smother them. Well, this doesn't. It acts like a feeding deterrent, a growth regulator, all those things, depending on the critter. And I'm not sure which critter does which things too, but it has potentially these different properties. Old position suppressant, what does that mean? Well, it keeps from laying eggs. Okay? A sterile, they can lay eggs, but they won't hatch. And for some critters, it may be toxic. Just that compound out of that plant may be toxic too. But it is an option. And probably from a pesticide standpoint, it probably has stronger activity as an insecticide than it does as a fungicide. It is sometimes referred to as a fungicide. Neem oil, chewing insects, it's effective on them more so than it is sucking insects, and those insects that undergo a complete metamorphosis. Aphids, this is the lace bug, again, the scale crawlers, spider mites, they'll control those things. Got a caution on it, don't apply it to drought-stressed plants, and you shouldn't apply oil to any drought-stressed plant, okay? Because it's already suffering some, and you're applying this oil to it, and that's going to, and until the oil evaporates, it's going to plug cuticles on the plant too. It can do that. Horse chestnut or gardenia. Most folks don't have a lot of gardenia and horse chestnuts anyway, but there's certainly a lot of Japanese maples in landscapes. Pyrethrin or pyrethrum, this is one that affects the nervous system. It's a derivative of chrysanthemum flower. It's a short-term compound. It is a contact material. You have to hit them with it. You can get it in a liquid form or powder form. And if it's powder form, probably mix it and make a spray out of it anyway. Soft-bodied insects like thrips, aphids, stink bugs, lace bugs, caterpillars, cucumber beetles, blister beetles, leaf-eating beetles. They'll have activity against those, but it's a real quick knockdown with no residual to it. Derived from chrysanthemum. There are synthetic pyrethrins that are sold also. So if you truly wanted an organic product, you go from a natural basic pyrethrin. And again, examples of the critters that'll get. See Japanese beetles showing up on it because we haven't seen anything much yet to control Japanese beetle. Pyrethrum will do that. It'll kill them, and the little leaf beetles that feed on the cucumbers and on the beans and stuff. It'll control those guys. If you're not, you know what this guy is over here? That's a young stink bug nymph. And they're a lot prettier than the adults are. If they stayed that way, maybe we wouldn't mind them so bad. Rope gnome, that's a plant-based product. It is a stone poison and a contact poison. So if you were to use it as a dust on plants, and then say a beetle came along and fed on it, then like the stink bug, and they ingested that, it'll kill them. Okay? If you mix it as a spray and applied it, it can be absorbed through contact. You can control the insect. This one will stay around 2 or 3 days. You know, with the pyrethrum, by the time it's dry, boom, it's probably gone. Okay, by the time it's sprayed, it's probably gone. This can stick around. If you have a fish pond and you're managing for fish, I'm talking about not goldfish, whatnot, but like bass and brim or something, a fishing pond. And the population gets out of balance. You get wild fish in there, that sort of thing. Now you got some little bitty ones. There's a practice called rope gnome restock. That's where you use rope gnome to kill everything in the pond. And restock it with a desirable stocking rate. Because birds will pick up eggs when they over here in the creek and come land in your pond, and they'll introduce all manner of wild species, and so you just wind up with a pond that's way out of balance, and it's no good. It's just got lots of little bitty, unstunted, underfed fish in it. The rope gnome has been around a long time. But you'll see the kind of insects it works on here. Chewing insects like the caterpillars, the sawfly larvae, beetles, those things all chew. Stink bugs chew. Aphids, they suck. They have little needle mouths, they pierce and they suck fluid out. Mites suck. But so it works against both kinds. The chewing insects, they can ingest it or have it sprayed on. The sucking insects needs to be sprayed on because they're not going to ingest it by feeding because they are piercing. And again, the examples of things that they feed on. This is a leaf hopper. I don't think you've seen a picture of this guy before. Little grasshopper-like thing that flies. Anybody familiar with this one? That's a beetle, box elder bug. They're more of a nuisance than anything. If you have box elder trees, you'll eat the seeds off of them. But anyway, they'll control those kinds of critters. Spinosad, that's one. It's kind of cool because it's derived from the fermentation uses of a soil bacterium, Sacropolyspora spinosa. It was discovered in a distillery, an abandoned rum distillery in the Caribbean Islands in 1982. So that's kind of cool, I think, in that regard. As a matter of fact, this is a Greenlight brand, Spinosad. Bonite has one called Captain Jack's Dead Bug Juice or Dead Bug Brew or something like that. I love that name. But it works on the nervous system. Caterpillars, sawflies, leaf miners. Leaf miners, little critters that get inside the leaf and cause tracks. You'll see a pale colored track through the leaf. Boxwood, saw boxwood the other day, had boxwood leaf miners. And leaf miners will get on a variety of plants. They'll get on hawthorn, they'll get on hollies, etc. What'd you say?
The columbine.
Okay. It's on soft, herbaceous as well as woody plants. But now this one, it does a good job on bagworms. So if you have evergreen trees, if you've got junipers or cypress or little spruce and so on, if you had bagworms on last year, you probably got bagworms on there again. If you haven't treated for them, you might want to do it soon because once these guys seal these bags up, they pretty well shed all liquid. It's hard to get anything into them, so you have to hand pick them. But until they seal those up, you can use something as simple as spinosad and do a good job on those. We had some got into one of these variegated arborvitaes out here and used it on them last year. It was super good job. Spinosad did when they were about yay big. Those little worms still had their heads stuck out feeding ready. It is toxic to bees though when it's wet. So you want to do it when bees aren't present. Okay, so go in there late in the evening when the sun's going down, you don't have very much bee activity. Or other pollinators, not just bees. But it also kills spider ants, including fire ants, spinosad. The BT products, they're different species. This one is the Bacillus thuringiensis kerstaki. Okay, you'll see it sold as dipale, javelin. That's a real common brand name, dipale does. But it works on caterpillars. It works on corn borers, corn rootworms, all manner of rootworms. But really good job against those things. But that's all. Okay? It doesn't kill nymphs of other insects. It just kills the caterpillars. So that could be moth caterpillars as well as butterfly caterpillars, those that are feeding on the plants themselves. And I don't have it in here, but it's also, there's a BT product that's great for mosquito larvae. If you've got any place that has standing water, and it doesn't take very much water in order to breed mosquitoes, you can use that BT product for mosquitoes. I mean, you can put it in a livestock pond, you can put it in a fish pond, you can put it in a swimming pool. And what it will do, it doesn't kill the larva, but it inhibits that larva from ever becoming an adult mosquito. It's very simple. You can buy it as a pellet, you can buy it as a donut shape or a solid wafer kind of material. Throw it in there, and you can reapply every so many days. You can pretty well keep an area. You can render it useless as a mosquito breeding ground. They'll still breed there, but they never become adults. You can certainly cut down the mosquito population by doing it. Milky spore, you may have heard of this one before. What it does, now this is only, you'll hear some folks say, I've heard some lawn care providers say, yeah, we use milky spore to control grubs. Well, that's not true. Unless you have Japanese beetle grubs, that's all it controls. It doesn't control June beetle grubs. It doesn't control mass chafer beetles. It doesn't control May beetle grubs. Only Japanese beetle grubs. And it makes them sick. Okay? Up here at the top, on the left side, you've got the black abdomen down there. That one's sick. It's not healthy. The one on the right side, white, clean looking, that one's healthy. So what it does, it infects them with itself, and it makes them sick. Okay, it's a bacteria. It's not when you go out and boom, you treat the lawn and you're done. You inoculate the grain. Yes, ma'am.
What is the life cycle for the Japanese beetle?
Well, it's a year, basically.
Okay.
Those that are out feeding now, their eggs were laid last May, June. So they hatched and they went in the ground as a grub, and then they came out, this late May, June. I've seen some flying around, but it's a year pretty much. One generation. You have to apply this to the soil surface, and you don't get immediate results out of it. It's got to, you inoculate the ground, and the populations build until they build to the point that there's enough there till it starts controlling the Japanese beetle larvae. Now, you can control Japanese beetle larvae in your lawn landscape. What if your neighbor does? You still get Japanese beetles. Okay? And Japanese beetle traps. I don't have anything here about Japanese beetle traps. Do they work? Absolutely they work. Where should you put them? Not at your house. Put them at your neighbor's house, okay? Because it draws the beetles too. It's got a pheromone that attracts them. And it works very well. It works good. But you don't want to attract them to your landscape if you can help it. Or if you've got plants you want to protect, put them on the far side of the property. Okay? But away from potential targets. What are potential targets? There's 300 odd plants they like. So they're not, they'll get your vegetable garden, they'll get your ornamental plants too. Cherry trees, they love them. Those ornamental cherries, they'll defoliate one in a heartbeat. Okra, they love okra. Thankfully, okra's tough. Well, if it gets too big, it's tough anyway. But I mean, it's a hardy plant. It's a tough plant to survive. Now, there are a lot of instances where folks will report, I've done the milky spore thing, and I have not seen it. And it takes, I think their literature says up to 3 years to get the maximum benefit. And so there's been some work done in this area, and they found that after 3 years, they couldn't really detect much population. And the thinking is they probably had dead inoculum to start with. And it has to do with the way the stuff is handled. I've heard of cases where, because of the way it was stored and handled, that the organism died. And so folks were wasting their time in their effort. How do you know if it's alive? I don't know. But it is potentially, it can help against, but it's only Japanese beetles. We'll work on these other groups. Okay, let's talk about weed control for just a minute. Selectivity, what does that mean? That means is there's very few things. Well, in reality, there's nothing that works really good that will select, kill this plant and not kill this plant. So you cannot go out here and do a broadcast application in your lawn to kill dandelions and not kill the grasses. Now, a few years ago, a product called Fiesta came out, iron-based herbicide. Boy, the literature, the advertising, the promotional literature had a good sales. Really good. But it has not proven to work as indicated. There are some plants that have sensitivity to iron, but it has not been a very successful product. So if you see that, at one time, I think it was Ortho, they had the marketing rights to it. It came from Greenlight or Safelite, some company, was marketing, but they came out with stuff, and then in the U.S., I think Ortho got their natural line got the rights to market it. If you run across it, if you want to give it a try, but don't have high hopes, okay? And it was reported to be good against dandelions and some of those broadleaf weeds. But well, there's been a lot of research studies on it, and it just has not proven the effect. Most organic herbicides are contact only, meaning they burn, they kill the top tissue, they don't kill the roots and not absorb down in the root system. So you would expect regrowth to occur if growing conditions are good. Pre-emergent weed control it is inconsistent, especially in the lawn areas. And we'll talk about corn gluten in just a minute. It's an organic pre-emergent control. It does show it has some benefits there, but it can be inconsistent because weather has an awful lot to do with the way it works. You just about need to resign yourself that you're going to see more plant diversity in organically managed lawns. Because, if you maintain a lawn, say a tall fescue, you've got a monoculture of plants out there. In an organically managed lawn, it's going to be very difficult to keep a pure stand of any one plant. It's just going to be very difficult to do that. In landscape beds, you're going to have to use some mulch of some kind. You're just really going to rely on that a lot. Okay. I put this question out here: is weed killer an accurate term? I say it is not. It's not. Plant killer is an accurate term, but weed killer is not. Because these herbicides, they kill plants. Some kill all plants, some kill some plants, and don't kill others. But the herbicide doesn't know whether it's a weed or not. Okay, so you'll hear people talk about weed killer, and especially you see the term organic weed killer. That's really inaccurate because most of these organic products are not selective. They kill all plants. Okay, we'll get some examples of that. But corn gluten for weed management. Corn gluten is a byproduct of the corn milling process. It's used as livestock feed, but corn gluten meal, Dr. Nick Christian from Iowa State University back in the late 80s, I guess, or maybe it was in the early 90s, found that this byproduct material has some pre-emergent qualities against some annual weeds, including crabgrass, barnyard grass, and foxtails. Those would be grass weeds, and on from the broadleaf side, dandelions, lambquarters, peatweed, purslane, and smartwood. Okay, it did have some pre-emergent qualities. Now, whether it works as a pre-emergent or not, it's a pretty decent organic nitrogen fertilizer. It's got 9% nitrogen in it, and so just like any other organic fertilizer, you don't worry about burning plants with the application because it takes a while to be broken down, mineralized, and made available to plants. So it can be utilized most any time of the year. If a plant needs nitrogen, you can add some nitrogen to it by using corn gluten as a source. I said it's using livestock feeds. Proteins in the corn gluten act on the germinating seeds. It doesn't keep them germinating, but it inhibits root growth. Okay, and it shows that the best results occur over a 3-year period. And that's absolutely the best results. That after that 3rd year, over 90% weed control. Now that's under the perfect conditions. Okay, these results have been difficult for researchers to duplicate with any kind of consistency. I did a 3-year test on here on some plots, and with some plots you had good results in, some plots you did not. It was very inconsistent. The soil makeup, the way water moved in the soil, is going to influence that to a certain extent. But the way this is a general guideline, you apply it twice. Apply it early in the spring and again in the fall. It needs water, either from natural rainfall, from irrigation, immediately following application. And then that area needs to dry for 2 or 3 days. Okay? A dry period following the rain or the irrigation, which follows the application, is essential. Because if it doesn't dry, then, it stays moist, then very often the plants will outgrow that root inhibiting effect, and they'll grow through and survive. Well, if it's excessive rain following application, it'll wash it away. So you have to reapply. But again, from an nitrogen standpoint, it's not a bad product. You just don't count on it being 100% by any stretch of the imagination on crabgrass control. Okay, and that's primarily what it's marketed as, a crabgrass control product. It can be expensive. Use rate is at 20 pounds a 1,000 foot, so that puts a cost somewhere with $30 per thousand. They don't give it away. Well, I go buy some livestock feed. You could. Livestock feed is pelleted, and you want the finely ground material. You can find finely ground corn gluten meal, whether it's livestock feed or not, and that's all it is. It's corn gluten meal. It needs to be finely ground. It will support insect life. So if you don't use a bag and you store it somewhere, you can get weevils and flies and things like that in here too, because it is grain. You might see better results in flower beds, okay? Because you can manipulate your soil moisture there better. You can work it into an annual bed and water it in good. You can do that. And I think I've seen cases, and again, there's not a super amount of hard research on that there. Dr. Christian's from Iowa State, and he'll tell you that there's a lot of variability. But just anecdotal stuff, I think I've seen some fairly decent results using it in annual beds and so on as a weed control product versus in a lawn area system control. Non-selective weed control, okay, acetic acid. What's acetic acid? Vinegar. Vinegar will kill plants. Household vinegar is roughly 5% acetic acid. There are horticultural vinegars that are up to 20%. That stuff will burn you, okay? Very, very strong base, or very strong acid. So you don't want to get on your skin. It can certainly burn you. You can use an acetic acid salt mixture. Roughly, you take a gallon of vinegar, pour enough vinegar out so that you can put a pound box of table salt in, dissolve it in there. That's a pretty good, it'll kill most anything. Okay, you apply it to it, it'll kill it. It burns it up. But it generally regrow, and I don't know how much salt you have to put in the ground to make it inhibit further plant growth, in the future. Flame weeders, I don't know if you've ever seen one or not. They can be pretty handy. It's just basically a propane tank with a torch attached to it, and have a harness to carry or a handle to carry around with. It'll kill them. It'll do a good job. If you get hot enough, you'll kill the roots on them too, and they won't regrow. Plant oil-based herbicides like clove oil and so on, you'll see those. Again, those are non-selective. They pretty much kill all plant material. So they're not selective. This is not something that you couldn't take an acetic, you couldn't take vinegar and spray it over a yard to kill weeds and not harm the grass. Okay, they're non-selective. We're not going to do that. Here's an example: untreated goosegrass and then treated goosegrass. This was vinegar salt mixture over there. So it didn't do this goosegrass any favors. That was this was sprayed, and this is right out here. This is on a sunny day. And this is the following day. Here's what it looked like. It's good. Okay, killed. Cultivation is always a form of organic weed control. Okay, mowing, hand weeding, various hoes, those kind of materials, always. Plus, it's good exercise. It is good exercise. Back up. Now, disease control real quick. Most diseases in plants are caused by fungi. We have fewer organic fungicides than we do insecticides. The key to using a fungicide, whether it's an organic fungicide or synthetic fungicide, is using for disease used to be a real big issue. Because most fungicides don't cure disease, they help prevent disease. They help prevent infection of uninfected plant material. And if you have an apple tree with cedar apple rust on it, you got the little rust leaves all over the leaf, you treat it with fungicide every day from that point forward, and at least not going to look better. Because it will not recover. It's not like acne. You clear it up, your skin will be good again. You're not going to clear that leaf up. What you can do is protect other leaves that are not infected. And that's what fungicides help us do. In the organic fungicide world, you have options of sulfur, copper, Bordeaux mixture, which is a lime sulfur mix, and then neem oil is also has some fungicide properties. You can read stuff about cornmeal may have some fungicidal property, milk, and so on. There's not a lot of hard evidence on that, so I'm just recommending. I'm talking to you about things that there is scientific evidence that there is some benefit. Okay. Sulfur, it prevents fungal spore germination. It needs to be applied before the disease, it says before the disease develops. Well, that's difficult to do. So you put the plant X, start applying sulfur to it, okay? Well, on cucurbits especially, you get mildew, downy mildew and such as that on there. When you see the first little spot show up, that's when you start applying the sulfur-based products, okay? It can be applied as a dust, a wettable powder. Well, you don't apply it as a wettable powder, you're going to mix it up and spray it. That's what wettable powder means. Or sulfur can come in liquid form. It's applied as a spray also. Again, hot weather, today you couldn't use it, okay? It causes damage to it. Also, you can't use it in combination with oils. So there's some parameters there you got to stay within. You're going to cause more damage, or as much damage as the disease causes. You need to pay attention to that. But it can be for downy mildew and such on the squash and cucurbits on. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Again, these are examples of diseases that sulfur can be used for. This is powdery mildew right here. Gray stuff. Downy mildew will start off kind of yellowish lesions on there. Black spot on rose. This is cedar apple rust on the apple tree. I don't know if it's an ornamental or if that's a fruity apple, but it's cedar apple rust on that one. Copper fungicides. Copper, the ions, when the copper dissolves in water, ions are released, and they are toxic, if you will, for fungi and bacteria, because copper ions are. So this is a product that, for a bacterial disease, it might be something to think about using, because it does have activity, efficacy against bacteria. Fungicides do not. It also has efficacy against fungi. In like say streptomycin, which is used for fire blight, would not have any activity against the fungi. So this is one that can be kind of a double-edged sword. You can use it for a couple of different things. A Bordeaux mixture is a combination of copper sulfate with calcium hydroxide or lime. And it says which acts as a safer to neutralize. It doesn't neutralize copper sulfate. It neutralizes it would be good. It cools it off a little bit, if you will. It makes it safe. Okay, in combination, it's not as you can burn plants with copper. All right, it can be detrimental when used in high temperature situations. So the lime is safe. It's just a safer. I don't even know what to describe it. It just makes it less potential damage to the plants. That's what the Bordeaux mixture does. Now, it can, under high temperature conditions, Bordeaux mixture can cause leaf drop. So if it's above 85 degrees, you see damage there. The copper products will tell you the same thing, just copper by itself. The copper soap, copper sulfate, those are examples of copper fungicides. They're going to have high temperature caution. But for canker disease, ornamental cherries, and some of these ornamental fruit trees, a copper product is about your best option. Shot hole disease, for example, on peach and cherry and so on. A copper-based fungicide is probably your best bet, simply because the shot hole can, on laurels, skip laurels, get shot hole and skip laurels. There can be a bacterial shot hole and a fungal shot hole. Well, you can't tell by looking which is which, because they look the same. You know, a hole is a hole. And these are examples. We've got some leaf spot here on this ivy. That shot hole on some laurel right there. That's fire blight over on the little apple twig. That's a bacterial disease. If you've got pear, if you've got apple trees and so on, and crab apples, Radford pears, the fruiting varieties as well, there's been a fair amount of fire blight on this year. We've got fact sheets on fire blight control, and that'll be one of the recommendations is to use maybe a copper product as part of the treatment regimen for preventing and minimizing the damage to those plants from the fire blight disease. Neem oil is suggested for some of those mildews, like powdery mildew down here. This is on the front of the leaf, this is the back of the leaf. These are leaf spots. This is anthracnose up here on dogwood. Rust up here. I think it probably has stronger disease, insect control properties than it has disease control properties. Again, you're not going to need it to cure diseases. Okay? So if you have a pretty major outbreak, something you might want to look at another option versus neem. just the things to do to help minimize, reduce disease pressure in general. Get plants pruned, don't crowd them. What happens to crowded plants? Well, they don't dry out. When they get wet, they don't dry out. They don't have air movement through there. When things get damp, they stay damp. It's also easier just for physical transference, for plants that are touching one another. If people ask, can this thing spread? Well, it got to that one plant somehow. So yeah, it can spread. Okay, whether it's wind-borne or whether it's through physical touch. And you know, insects spread a lot of disease. This rose rosette disease. I don't have anything to hear about rose rosette because we don't do it except take the plant. I mean, it's a virus. It's going to kill them. Rose gets rose rosette, the rose is going to die sooner than it would have otherwise. It's a destiny. That's what it is. Well, how is it spread? Well, we think it's spread by a thing called a terrified mite. Very, very smaller than a spider mite. And these things can be blown on the wind.